Alright, so part 6. First thing I'm going to show is just a little thing with the channel list. So here's one little thing. If you drag, say, like any sort of sample, I'm just going to go to the regular blue packs folder. If you drag a sample in here, it'll put it in a sampler channel. Now there's one little thing. If we insert an audio clip and then drag the sound into the channel settings here in this little bar, there's something I have to show you here with the differences between these two. The audio clip will have less options here. It's probably optimized for clips that you're not going to loop, clips that you just play once, whereas the sample has more options here. Like it has looping options here and stuff like that. So next thing, if you drag samples into here, there might be a few issues that you have. If you have any issues where this doesn't sound like that, first thing you should do is go to the first panel here under the channel settings and take this time knob and drag it all the way down, because sometimes there are settings here where it might not be quite set all the way down the default. Dragging this all the way down makes it default. Second, if this is clicked, just unclick it. Sometimes there will be markers here that'll set loop points, and some audio clips will have those, and if you have this and you click it, it'll play the clip over and over. The third thing is under the miscellaneous tab. If your audio clip or sample doesn't sound like it has the same pitch as the original, just go to the miscellaneous tab and click reset, and it should put this back to C5. So if you have like something strange like this, and it's not changing the pitch here, but sometimes it'll play a different pitch, just hit reset and it puts it right back. Alright, next thing, I gotta show how to save a new version of a project. So we'll save this project as example, I guess. So if I accidentally clicked new, okay. If you want to save, if you make like a major change to your project, like maybe you drag a bunch of stuff in here, or you'll make some major change, believe me, and that will happen, you might want to click save new version or control N, and it'll make a new version of your project. And then you can start doing more work in there. And if you feel like you hit a dead end, or you felt like you did something wrong way before, you can just open up the previous version of your project and it won't have those major changes you made. The reasons for that will become more clear as you make more stuff. So if you like save new version, it keeps putting like 2, 3, 4, 5, like underscore 2, 3, 4, 5 after your project's name. Alright, so the next thing, I guess we can open up our current project we're working on. I've just been naming these based on the parts of the videos. You can just have one version of the project and that's fine. Alright, so the next thing is extra features in the step sequencer. So say you have your percussion pattern right here. What you can do, much like in the piano roll, where you can control different parameters of the notes, you can control those parameters through the step sequencer as well. And each of these correspond to each step. So if we want to make like the second and fourth kicks a little bit quieter, we control that through velocity. Now, I'll probably go more in depth with velocity later, but usually velocity is directly linked to volume, but you can link other things to velocity as well. I really don't do this too often, but sometimes it's pretty useful. So if we want to make like the second and fourth kick quiet, we'll do that. And you can also control other parameters here. I almost never use these though. Like this will control how quick the release is on the note. These control modulation parameters, which is something else we're going to have to go over at some point. So if we play the pattern, switch to pattern mode and play, you can hear that the second and fourth kicks are quieter. So the other way to control the pitch of the notes, if you're using the step sequencer, is to click this button right next to the graph editor button called the keyboard editor. And here you can control the pitch of each individual step. So say maybe we want to make the fourth kick higher in pitch. You can click these and it makes it different pitches. So let's make that one higher because it'll be easy to hear. And you can hear that it makes it a little more interesting. It creates a little variation with what we're doing. For the most part, you want this to be the same pitch though. It's more consistent that way. All right, so the next thing, it's pretty big. I'm going to show how to do busing through the mixer. So busing typically means you send a signal from one place to another. You can send multiple signals, in this case, you can send multiple inserts to the same insert and then do things with that one insert. Best example of this would be sending all of your percussion to one insert. So we'll just take, how about just insert 9, and we'll rename it to drums. And I haven't found an easier way to do this, but what you can do is go to like your first drum, which is the kick, and what you do is you go down here and go to the left, and on this little rectangle, if you put the mouse over it on the top left, it'll say enable send from kick to master, and this is where the signal of the kick is going from its insert to the master. So what we're going to do is we're going to disable that, and instead we're going to go over to this rectangle under our drums insert and send it there. So now you have to do that with each insert. Now there's another way to do this, but I really haven't found a good way to use it yet. You can right click the insert and go under create submix to and then click drums. But I don't recommend doing that. It like changes the name and the color of the insert, and it's just, you can play around with it if you want. I just haven't found it that desirable to use. So if we play now, you'll still see the volumes of each insert here, but they aren't being sent straight to the master track. I guess I'll just demonstrate how to use this. So if you want to like mute the entire drum track, it's just the click of one button instead of 3. So if we click it, it mutes the entire track. And if we want to raise and lower the volume of the entire drums for some reason, then we can do it easily. So maybe to demonstrate this with the actual song, we'll switch to song mode. Now, normally I don't recommend having the volume sliders go past the 100% point, because I see this area right here as sort of headroom. Like, say that you're at the very end of your mix and you feel like this entire track of drums is just way too quiet and you need to do that last little tweak before exporting. Then I'd say you can use this. If your slider or knob or whatever is all the way up here and you still feel like it's too quiet, then you might have to insert something else to make it even louder, and that's one thing that you should always avoid. A lot of this requires like planning ahead and such, and making sure that everything's good step by step. I guess that's it for this one. I think 1 or 2 more videos and I will be done with the essential tutorials. I'll see you later.